Your attention, please. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Shut up and sit down.
To the desk. All right, Mr. Mighty, let's see what adventures await. What will come out of the mighty pencil on To the Mighty Day for Mr. Mighty's adventures? What villains will you take down with your mightiness? Alright, Mr. Mighty, we'll pick this up later. Duty calls. The trash will not take itself out.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. It is Easter weekend. Happy Easter. If that is something that you celebrate, we do. I'm looking forward to the Easter bunny coming tonight and getting a basket full of candy tomorrow. Seriously, though, my lovely wife, I'm a lucky man. She does an Easter basket for our daughter, who is going to be 23 next month. And I get a little candy out of it too. So, woo, woo, yeah. I haven't done one of these streams in a while where we look at some fun comic books and stuff. And who knows, maybe learn something. I don't know. I've been known to teach and stuff. What's up, Lake Kick, Blackjack, Terror, Wombat? Craig says, I'm not here, Andy. Okay, Craig, I don't see you. You can't see me. John Cena. All right, let's get to it. Switch the camera around, look at some fun books, because you don't need to see me. You rather see some comical books. All right. So I was at a store in town recently, and I never saw this magazine before. When did this magazine even come out? 1996. Came out, I assume, in the UK, and it reprints issues of X-Men, and I believe this is issue 3. 1 and 2 reprinted, some Jim Lee stuff. It kind of went in order. Yeah, right. Leg kick, I hear you. It kind of went in order, and of starting before the new X-Men stuff. So I bought a batch of these, and a lot of the ones I bought actually reprinted some of the Andy Kubert stuff because I really liked that run. And I got a couple that reprinted some of Jim's stuff. This cover's by Jim Chung, who is doing a Batman Wonder Woman crossover one shot for DC that comes out soon. So early Jim Chung work, very cool. But the reason I want to go through this issue, this reprints one of my favorite issues of X-Men. It doesn't say, does it say the issue number in this indicia somewhere? Let's see. I don't care. I don't know if it does, and I don't really care. But this issue is really cool because Scott Williams inked the entire issue over a bunch of different artists. And instead of naming all the artists outright, we'll just go through it. Somebody in the chat, if you know what issue number this is, awesome. If not, not that big of a deal. But we do start off with Whilce Portacio. Great splash page. I love it. I love this era of Whilce's stuff. You know, when Whilce started at Marvel, he was inking, then drawing Punisher. And when he was doing Punisher, he did more solid blacks into his work, you know. But when he jumped over to X-Men, he was doing more of the cross-hatching and stuff. So this is Scott Williams inks. God, I love this stuff. 2-page spread here. I'm assuming in the comic book, which I do have, I just don't have it next to me, this 2-page spread was butted together, not like this, but because it's reprinted as in a magazine format, I guess they want to, I don't know, center it up. Who knows? But anyhow, more Whilce. If you read the credits on the left-hand side, you can spoil it and see who the other artists are. But Scott Williams did do all the inking on this. And then we go to Klaus Janson. Now, Klaus Janson is really known for inking his own work, which I love. Oh, well, Whilce did the inks on Strikeforce Morituri over Brett Anderson. And once again, his inks really heightened Brent's stuff. And I've been a big Brent fan for a long time, since Kazar. So anyhow, Klaus Janson's known for inking his own work, but seeing Scott Williams, who comes from kind of that Klaus Janson school, ink over Scott is just or seeing Scott ink over Klaus is really a delight to behold, if you will. Let's see. I'm trying to see something here. Where can I see this? Let's see if I click this. Oh, there it is. Nice. Okay. I'm on Rumble too, guys. So I'm going to start streaming stuff on Rumble as well. So if you haven't subscribed to my Rumble channel, head on over there. Subscribe to the Rumble channel, if you will. That would be nice. Let's see if I can do this. I should be able to. That should work. There we go. Posted the link. So anyhow, Klaus Janson being inked by Scott Williams. Look at that face. You can tell it's Klaus. You got some great Scott Williams inks. Did he just draw the one page? I think he did, because the next page looks like Jim Lee. So Klaus might have only done one page. Klaus is somebody I would love. Let me say it again. Love to ink, by the way. I've never seen full pages of his in pencil. Actually, you know, I've got a few paperbacks Klaus did. So I'll have to look through those to see if they show pencils in the back. So Jim Lee, then we go to Michael Golden. Michael Golden, inked by James P. Roca. Michael Golden, inked by Scott Williams. Oh, actually, wait. No, I'm sorry. I take it back. That's not Michael Golden. Blah. It's Mark Silvestri, who we're used to seeing inked by Scott. So that is gorgeous stuff. You got 3 commissions, Javier Fernandez, Lucas Meyer. Dude, I would love to see those. Have you shared them anywhere? Don't be rude. You know sharing is caring. So share those. Here we go. Mark Silvestri, I mean, look at that Psylocke. Just a great figure. Guy love Mark's work. Then we've got Rick Leonardi, inked by the great Scott Williams. Now we have Michael Golden, inked by Scott Williams. It almost looks like Golden colored these pages too, but I'm assuming the regular colors did and just tried to do what Mike would do. But I don't know. And I don't know what Michael thought of the inks either. Something I've never asked, but I love this last panel here on the left. Nice long shot. You can see the action and everything. They're in the danger room. And of course, you got classic Wolverine by Mike. You've got the lighting he does. Just great stuff here. And then we've got Jim Lee. So wait a second. Hold on. Now I got to look at the credits because I thought Klaus did do more than one page, but that looks like, it doesn't look like Klaus to me. That's Klaus. That doesn't look like Klaus. So, and it goes in order. Wills, Klaus, John Byrne, Rick Leonardi, Mark Silvestri, Michael Golden. Maybe it's not in order because this is Wills. That's Klaus. That is not John Byrne. I think that's Jim. And then Mark, and then Golden. And then we get back to Jim Lee right here. So that's cool. And then, great Jim Lee stuff. Love this right here. Man, I love Jim's rendering, and obviously Scott Williams' inking is great. Just so freaking nice. More Jim. So I think Jim did the bulk of this issue, it looks like. And then we've got Larry Stroman, Master Larry Stroman, inked by Scott Williams. Great stuff. Oh, look at that. Classic Larry Stroman face right there. Continued after center spread. Okay, let's see. Because we haven't seen John Byrne yet. And I thought John Byrne stuff was earlier in the book. Neil Adams ad, so Continuity Studios. So Neil Adams doing the X-Men there. Okay, hold on. And this magazine has other stuff in it, so it's talking about X-Men. This must be the same issue. So this is Jim Lee again, obviously. Oh, what is that? Stuff's popping up on my screen. So that's Jim Lee again, obviously. This is a different issue, I think. Because they put more than one issue in this magazine. So hold on. This is weird. Did I miss a page? I don't see. Let's see. I don't see the John Byrne pages in here. Unless look, no skipping a page there. No skipping a page there. How could they not print? That's Rick Leonardi. Guys, how could they not print the John Byrne pages in this? Whoa. Was it not important to the story, maybe? That they could just take out the the 2 John Byrne pages. That's why I was kind of excited to show you, is John Byrne, inked by Scott Williams. But they did. They took them out because this black box is the to be continued box, I think. And then we go to here. Well, technically we go to here, but this is from a different issue because I have all these actual issues, and this whole thing's drawn by Jim Lee. Great Wolverine shot there. I love the way Jim did the black areas on the blue part of the costume. Wait, they combined. They're making this the last page. This stuff I just showed was from a different issue, from the one we just looked at with the different artists with Scott inking everybody. And then they threw this. Wow. I didn't realize they chopped stuff up like that in this magazine. That's crazy. Why are these different things popping up on my screen that you can't see? Anyhow, then this reprints of Chris Pacello, Gen 13, Part 3. I don't know what issue of Gen 13 or Generation X, I'm sorry, this is, but it's great. It's Chris Pacello. I mean, I love this era of Chris's work too. Before he got on the X-Men. Don't get me wrong, I loved his X-Men stuff, but this stuff is just awesome as well. So fun stuff here. And then the next issue, issue 4, I want to say that was issue 275 of the X-Men. But that's really weird that they don't show the John Byrne pages in this. And I don't have the actual comics close by. Anyhow, let's move on to something else I think is fun. Incredible Hulk, number 33, legendary numbering 507. It's a 100-page giant. Jay Lee cover, I believe. This came out in 2001. And the reason I'm showing it is a guy that got his start at Marvel, then did most of his work at DC, comes back to Marvel in 2001 to draw this annual. None other than the great John Bogdanov drew this, and he inked it as well. So I love John Bogdanov's stuff at Marvel. Then he goes to DC, does Superman Forever, which was great. And then we get to see him draw this issue of the Hulk. Oh, yeah, look at that. Big John, that is freaking awesome. John doesn't do much anymore, and I'm guessing he did so well off of Superman royalties. He's like, yeah, I'll draw whatever I want. I had such high hopes for that book. The art was great. The stories were pretty bad. Lobdell was always a mediocre writer at best, but that was some of his worst. I assume you're talking about Generation X. Look at this. That is great. I love, a lot of guys do the Hulk with a very thick waist because make him thick overall. I love how John gave him a tiny waist and stuff. Love the shadows and stuff John did. This book is just freaking cool, the way he did the lighting and stuff. I mean, a run by John Bogdanov on the Hulk would have been freaking awesome. We got big brow. I mean, the guy's getting the big shots in. I would love to have seen him draw something over at Edge, Wildcat, Cyber Force. Stuff like that would have been cool. I don't understand. Please wait while we talk to your displays. I'm getting this weird pop-up message. I don't know why. Oh, well. I mean, he was just having tons of fun on this book. You can tell. Look at that. That is some great double lighting right there. I mean, just fantastic double lighting that he did. It would have been cool to see a little more blue popped into the reflected light, but that's okay. That's right, guys. Oh yeah, his art on Power Pack was great. You want a lesson in drawing kids? Look at Bogdanov's art on Power Pack. I did like his X Factor stuff too. Look at that. That. I mean, oh damn, look at that. I always fluctuate. You know, I've never drawn the Hulk in a comic book. I've drawn them in commissions. So I've drawn them thick overall. I've drawn them with a small waist. I think if I were to draw them again, I might go the small waist route like this because I just think it's freaking cool. That is awesome. So much great stuff. He is so underrated. Look at that. That's almost a Superman pose. And once again, the double lighting. And, you know, when John was doing Man of Steel back in the 90s, he was doing some imagey type stuff. And what I mean is he was doing more of the line work and stuff and the fades. And I don't think that's his natural thing. I think this is more of his natural style here. Oh, look at that. Almost has the proportions of the Hulk from the Ed Norton movie. And it's weird. The last page, he gets really minimal. And a part of me was always like, I wonder if it was a deadline thing. And he's like, I just got to get this last page done. Look how tiny his head is. Just love it. And then the nice thing about this 100-page giant is they did reprint some classic stuff. So we've got Herb Trimp being inked by Joe Staton. They don't say the issue number. No, it's issue 204. They say it right here in this little column. So that's cool. So 204, Herb inked by Joe Staton. You know, I was never a fan of John Severin's inks on Herb Trimp when I was younger, but now I like it. But I still like it when Herb inked himself, or Joe Sinnott would ink over Herb. I thought was really cool. But this Joe Staton stuff is nice. I just wish there was more Big Bad Hulk in it, you know. It's kind of like an origin retelling. Joe Sinnott inked the cover over Herb for What If, and it was fantastic. Savage Dragon Proportions. Good catch. You're right. You're right. Maybe he was doing that on purpose. So that's a nice issue. Then we've got Sal and Joe Staton. This is around the 200s as well, because it's before Sal started inking his own work. And I thought Sal and Joe did a really nice job together. Still like Sal inking his own work the best. And then I like Klaus Janson inking Sal, Joe Urbanstein, Bob McLeod. But there's just something about Sal's work when he inks himself that is just pure goodness. But that's nice. The thing that Joe did, he added more blacks, solid blacks to Sal's work, which made it look more solid compared to when Sal inks his own work. Sal has more line work in it. Doc Samson, man, love that character. I think that, oh wait, there's one more story. Wait, this can't be the first page. I had to have missed one. That's weird if that's the first page. Yeah, that is. I'm trying to remember what this is from. Oh, here we go. John Ridgway. I believe he's a British artist. I don't know what issue of the Hulk this was, but nothing against John. He's a good artist, but this is just poor casting. And what I mean is poor choice to draw this story. The Hulk. And unless they wanted that Kirby throwback look, I guess, then it's like, okay, but you know, I think John's art is better fitted for other type of stories than this. So it's okay though. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Oh man, I love Joe Staten's E-Man. I only have a few issues of the first E-Man stuff from Charlton, but when they brought E-Man back in the 80s, I've got the full run of that stuff. And I don't know what we have here. Bruce Jones. So these are just preview pages. Bruce Jones, John Romita Jr., Tom Palmer on the inks. So, you know, fun stuff. Great issue. Get it if you don't have it. All right, let's see. What else did I want to show you guys? Forgive me. I'm looking down over here to see if there was something else before I get to this. You know what? Because I've got a few things down here. My buddy, my pal, Bart Sears, back in the, I think this is the late 90s. I don't think it's the 2000s. 1998, came back and did a fill-in issue on Exo Man of War. I think Bart has drawn every iteration of Exo there is. Not all in stories, because what's up, Tank Ferret? Not all in stories, though. Bart, for the latest Exo stuff, Bart's done covers. But I like this armor. This is drawn by Scott Eaton, this cover. And I dig this armor. This is the one armor in comic book form from the 90s I haven't drawn. And I need to just do a drawing like pinup of. So Bart's back. One of the things Bart does that I love is he'll take something that's boring and make it freaking cool. And what I mean is, skip the page. The splash page was originally just supposed to be them pulling into town, which, nothing against Brian Augustyn, but that's pretty boring. Oh, let's do a splash page and then pulling into town. And Bart's like, yeah, that's boring. So I'll do this big full shot of Exo here because it's an Exo story. Love it. Love that shot. I have this page, but this shot of Exo is in pencil because it's not the one you see here in print, because I guess he drew the wrong armor or something. So, oh yeah, his Turok stuff was great. But this is just a fun book. It's a fun story. You know, I wish there was more Exo in it, but he did get to draw Quantum and Woody. So it was cool to see Bart's take on Quantum and Woody as well. Valiant just did, well, last year they did a crowdfund. Ooh, something on the book. A crowdfund for an Exo book, hardcover with new stories in it, anthology stuff. And Bart has a story in it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I backed it just because of that. I mean, there's other good artists in it too, but you know what I mean? Look at that guy getting blasted out the window by that little girl. She's like, I don't think so, bitch. Oh boy, here comes Exo. Da-da-da. You know, it's a nice big shot. It's a back shot of Exo. You know, I get it. It is the most exciting thing on the page, but you know, Bart, he's like, I'm doing a big back shot. Who colored this? The coloring is not bad. It gets dark, but I think it's because of the newsprint. Atomic Paintbrush. I think it might be because of the newsprint. Great shot right here. That's cool. I really do dig this costume on Exo. I actually like Quantum and Woody. I always say there's not really bad costume designs, because any artist, I think, can take a bad costume design and make it look cool. Oh boy. Looks like, I don't know which one this is out of Quantum and Woody. Help me in the chat. Which one wears the mask and which one has long blonde hair? I have no idea. But whatever, that dude just got it on with the blonde hair chick. She's wearing his overalls. Bow chicka wow wow. A chicka, oh, look at me, come back to bed. He's like, not now. I need 20 minutes to regain, if you know what I mean. Pissy little kid. Bart does draw good kids. Oh, nice. Exo's like, I got you, homie. He's like, wait, I have a cape. Doesn't that mean I can fly? I have no idea. Woody is the blonde. There you go. Thank you, Blackjack. This is just cool looking stuff. I dig it. I dig it. Man, I really do want to do a drawing of Exo in this armor. That's kind of cool. I guess that's a costume that Woody actually does wear. So that's kind of cool, though. I like it. And that was it. I would love to have seen more Exo, this armor drawn by the big man, but it is what it is. So that's cool. Throw that aside. All right. What else was I going to show you guys? I don't think that. I don't know why that's there. Nope. 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 No. Oh, what is that? Hold on. Let me see what this is. Oh, that's just a reprint. Don't care. I know you guys are like, hey, buddy, this is a show, don't tell. Actually, you know what? I will show this. I love this issue right here. World's Finest, Superman, Batman. This comic reprints a Neil Adams story that came out issue 175. I think. I'll have to look. I'm assuming the issue after this, it was a 2-part story. So, or was it a 1-part? Neil did 2 issues. Actually, hold on. I own them. Let me look on my comic book app that I have, that I use to, you know, keep track of my comics because I'm a geek that way. And see, 175 and 176. So this one, I believe, reprints 170. I don't know. Hold on. And here's the thing. If this doesn't, hold on. So this is Neil Adams. It's a reprint issue. So if you can't afford 175 and 176, and mine are in kind of crap condition, you could always get reprint 302. But my question is, does 301 or 303 reprint the second part of the story? That is the question. 303 does not. So 301? 301 does not either. So I guess Neil did 2 single issue stories in this World's Finest. So this is 175. Okay. So yeah, he must have it was 2 different stories then. But this is great. This is Neil Adams, Dick Giordano. Everybody loves Neil's Batman. Look, I'm a Superman guy, always have been. Out of the 2, I would love to have seen Neil do a long run on Superman like he did on Batman. But I'll take it. I'll take this. I mean, imagine Superman monthly with shots like that as Superman flying and stuff. And I love Kurt Swan, but come on now. It's just great stuff. Right here. Let's see. Look at that. He's bending that key. Supergirl throws it at him. He swings Supergirl around by her feet. Look at that. That's a beautiful face. Look at that. Once again, Superman monthly in the 70s by Neil Adams instead of Batman, and you get shots like this. And here's the thing, this story's been reprinted in Neil's Batman stuff, but it was when Neil would go back and redraw stuff and recolor stuff. And I have that as well. And he redrew this face and re-inked most of the figure. And it's okay, but I love this so much. Just great. That's awesome. And Neil did do, before he passed, he did do that Superman Men of Steel limited series. And it's cool, but it's not this. I mean, oh man, such good stuff. And of course, the best Superman by Neil is Superman Muhammad Ali. Look at that. Blackjack only owns 2 issues, and it's these 2, 175 and 176. Well, that's freaking cool. Love this double lighting here. Look at that. You can tell Alan Davis was influenced by Neil just by looking at the lighting and rendering. You can tell Brian Hitch as well. And just great stuff. These are figures I never got when they came out. I think they're kind of pricey on eBay, but I wouldn't mind having the Warlord figure. I always like these drawings too. I want to say they're inked by Mike DiCarlo. I don't know who drew them. Is it Ross Andrew? Anybody watching? I think this is Ross Andrew pencils. Maybe Mike DiCarlo inks. Bonus inside package, Battle Beneath the Earth, a full color DC comic book. Oh man, I've never seen that comic either. Damn it. Now I want to see this comic book. I've never seen it. Don't know who did the art. Son of a bitch. This is great. Look at that. That's cool. Great perspective there. And it's over. Way too soon. It's over. But we do have a backup by, I hope you didn't see the name yet. I don't know if you'll guess the artist. This is way before he did stuff at Marvel. So you might not recognize the style. He didn't ink it. David Mazzucchelli. There you go. Early David Mazzucchelli stuff. I don't know if this is his first work, but it's freaking cool. Yeah. Star Trek. The motion picture. So this, guys, you don't have this issue. Get it. I mean, that's a great Ed Hannigan, Klaus Janson cover. Do they even say in the indicia that this is a reprint? I'm reading. No. They don't say anywhere. So if you bought this, it does say representing a classic tale, but it doesn't tell you where it was originally by or came out. So great stuff. And you know what? Last but certainly not least, guys, I'm a big fan of comic strip art, as you know, and I'm a big fan of Leonard Starr, who did On Stage. And I picked this up because Leonard Starr drawing a superhero, and this is a soap opera type book. Captain Virtue strikes back and escape from Russia. So start with an interview with Leonard Starr, which I should actually go back and reread. This came out, by the way, in 1985. I would love to have seen these strips when they came out, but it starts with the Captain Virtue stuff. So we actually get to see kind of what if Leonard Starr drew superheroes, and get to see the amount of work that went into daily strips back in the day. This panel here, you can tell is a photograph. What was the comic that made you want to draw comics for a living? Captain America 275. To answer your question, Captain America 275. Look at this stuff. This is a photograph, photocopied, and then maybe went back in with whiteout and stuff. A lot of these strip guys did that stuff. Stan Drake was great at it. John Byrne did it in some issues of Alpha Flight and Fantastic Four as well. Captain Virtue. Obviously, it's an actor in this suit, but I don't care. I just think it's freaking cool. Look at that. And great, placement of lights and black areas in this stuff. The Warlord action figure comic was by Mark Texeira. Damn it. Let me know if you can find that online. I love Mark stuff. And Todd Smith. Oh, man. I got to find it. Look at the wrinkles, man. These guys knew how to do wrinkles in clothing so well. And once again, the way they spotted the black areas and the simplicity of the faces and stuff. And I'll be honest, I never read this. I only bought it because of the artwork. If I had the time to read everything I've bought just because of the artwork, that would be nice. It'd be really nice. Look at that. I love that. I love that shot. It's not obviously exaggerated and overblown. It's basically a guy in good shape wearing a costume. But the rendering, oh my God, that is just so freaking cool. Love it. Just freaking love it. I mean, I read comic strips, in the newspaper growing up. The Warlord comics were all supposed to be scraped, but some stuff made it out. What do you mean? After the book was canceled? I don't know what you mean. These faces are just fantastic. And the thing I like about the black spotting is it's not with shadows. It's with things like hair, suits, like that floor in that middle panel is black. And it's all for leading the eye composition stuff. I mean, they do some shadow stuff. Those are silhouettes. But what I mean is, cast shadow. I mean, this guy's in deep shadow here. But in these two, but that's more for a dramatic effect. A lot of this stuff is just really open. Look at that face. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous, I say. I don't know what Leonard Starr inked with. I mean, I can see brush, of course, but I think there's some pen work in here as well. Hell of a chin. Yeah, it is. And I think we're into that Russia story now. I think we're done with Captain Victory. Look at that. Oh, the Warlord action figure comic. They were supposed to be destroyed. Most of the action figures didn't come with them. DC wanted them scrapped. Oh! So if you can find one, you're lucky. Oh, man. I wonder if it's online anywhere. I'm going to have to look. I never knew that story. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, so this is the Russia story now, the second part of this book, which I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Here's another photograph right there with the bus. That's a photo. Which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. Look at that tree. That's not a photo, but it almost looks like one, the tree. So yeah, so I want to show this as well. I mean, this is just such great realistic artwork. I mean, that face, so few lines, so simple. I mean, look at the woman's face right there. Once again, so few lines, so simple, and just so well drawn. Just gorgeous. The way he does the highlights in her hair, that looks like a photo with some inking on the trees and stuff. I mean, this is great stuff. Leonard Starr being inked by Stan Drake on this Kelly Green graphic novel book that was out was awesome. There he is, 20th Annual Reuben Awards dinner. 1966, Leonard Starr was presented with the Reuben Award by his peer and childhood idol, Milton Caniff. Man, that's freaking cool. Freaking cool. Makes me wonder if they're including the story in the new Warlord omnibuses. That's a very good question. So there's that. Really fun stuff. I'm going to switch the camera back around to me. Hello. Oh, my hat's real low. Let me get this out of the way. Put my other camera back where it belongs in my computer and take this down. All right. You know what? I'm going to share a couple pages I just wrapped up for Lilineth. So let me grab those and share a couple pages of Lilineth Infernal Conflict for you guys. Link in the description below. Go back it now. I've been told it's the best art that Andy Smith has ever done. And I'm not talking in third person. I'm just quoting my mom. So that's what that was. But let me see. I will show. I'll show 3 pages. 3 pages. Okay. Let me just get this over. It's not over. Da, 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 da. All right. Share the screen. Your mom really said that? Of course she did. Come on. All right, let's see. Share screen. Entire screen. This one. This one. So here we go, guys. First panel. Oh, look. Oh, my God. This dude's losing his lunch. And more. Oh, yeah. Lilineth is like, that's it. I've had enough of this crap out of you, Thurathal. I don't know if you can heal. Heal from this. And then, uh-oh. I don't know if he's coming back from this. Oh, boy. Oh, he's gone. And then she's like, oh, I'm awesome. That's not what she says. I'm just making up that dialogue. Well, Blackjack, sorry, but got to promote the book, buddy. Go back this book Blackjack has. I thank you for it. Yeah, like what happened in Invincible. Sure. And they get to these 2 massive doors. What could be behind the doors? What could be behind the doors? Oh, yeah. She's like, oh, my God. He's like, well, it took you long enough to get here. I am Demon Lord Vexarion. Now, of course, that's not the actual dialogue, and this is why Dennis writes the stuff and not me. Oh, what is that in the background with these warlord people back there doing their powers to it? And you got these big, ugly guards here that are huge. And he's got some suckaby chicks. down by his feet. This dude is a boss. And then they're chanting, blah, 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 whatever. And she's like, I don't feel so good. And she's like, I don't either. Oh, me neither. What is it? What is it? I see Masters of the Universe style action figures. Oh, for this stuff? Yeah, that'd be nice. And then the next page, he's like, ha, 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 you silly little girls. Oh no, regain, get our strength back. You have nothing. Get 'em, boys. Oh boy, what could be happening on the next page? Oh boy, these big boys are coming down. They're looking to get 'em. Dun, dun, dun. And Raphael's like, you don't scare us. We scare you. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, yeah. It's gonna get real. So there you go, guys. You join the live stream. You get to see how many pages you got left. That's a good question. 15. I believe I have 15 pages left. I'm doing some math in my head. Yes. 15 pages to go. So guys, if you haven't yet, go back. Lilineth, Infernal Conflict today. The links are in the description below. It is still on Indiegogo. It is still on Kickstarter, where you can get the Billy Tucci cover only on Kickstarter. Get that right here, exclusive Billy Tucci cover, or just get the box. If you get the box on Kickstarter, you'll get the Billy Tucci cover. If you get the box on Indiegogo, you'll get everything here and the foil cover as well that we added to the campaign. And of course, they do come in this beautiful collector's box, so you can keep it all organized, know where it's at. Get yourself a t-shirt here. Get a t-shirt. And I think there's 3 copies left of the retro edition. That's right. Taking you back in time to when comic books were stapled and on flat color newsprint. Lilineth, Infernal Conflict. 3 copies left out of 100. They come signed and numbered with an exclusive certificate of authenticity. That is on Indiegogo only. So go over there and get it. Guys, thank you for joining me on this live stream this morning. I really appreciate it. I want to try and do this once a week where I look at some funny books and stuff with you guys that I just think are awesome. And maybe you haven't seen them before, so you can go buy them. I'm not looking at new stuff unless it really gets my juices flowing, and that hasn't happened in a while. So there you go, guys. Thank you for me. And next Wednesday, is that an actual ad from back in the day? It is, because they're not good anymore. So yeah, I'm going to use it. Wednesday on the DNA show, Matthew Rumor is joining us, who is the promoter for CG Fan Fest in New Jersey in October, where we hope you'll join us. D-Wham's in the house. I know the time difference. Isn't it like 9 something where you are right now? I wish it was 9 a.m. still here, but it's not. It's 12 and I need to eat lunch. So thank you for watching. We will catch you guys later. And until then, have a great weekend. Have a happy, oh, it's 10. Okay. Have a happy Easter and be safe. Eat some sweets, because if I have a choice between a beer and candy, I eat the candy because I got a sweet tooth. Until next time, bye-bye, everybody.